Raging wildfires surrounding Los Angeles spread to the Hollywood Hills Wednesday, with helicopters racing to douse the flames with water drops. It raised the number of major wildfires in Los Angeles County to 6 by Wednesday evening. From space, the conflagration could be seen gripping the city in a glowing red pincer. The earlier fires have already caused several deaths and destroyed hundreds of homes, while strong winds have hampered firefighting efforts and intensified the flames, which have burned uncontrollably since they erupted on Tuesday. Over 100,000 people have been evacuated, while state officials said 4 of the blazes were at 0% containment as night fell Wednesday.
This firestorm is the big one.
LA Mayor Karen Bass had returned to the city after cutting short an official trip to Ghana.
We are still facing strong and erratic winds. In Palisades and in Sylmar, we are very much in an active firefight. I can report to you that the Woodley fire, however, in the Sepulveda Basin is under control. I can also report that finally air operations have resumed, and that is a big deal, but it is up to the winds as to how long the air support can continue.
The Palisades fire had already consumed over 15,000 acres in the upscale area west of LA, home to many celebrities and musicians. Officials said some fire hydrants had run dry there, hobbling firefighters. To the east, the Eaton fire in the foothills of the San Gabriel Mountains claimed about 10,000 acres. They struck at an especially vulnerable time for Southern California, which has not seen significant rainfall for months. Dry desert air from the east also fanned the flames while blowing over the hilltops and down through the canyons. Scientists say it's all come well outside the traditional wildfire season. They mark the latest in weather extremes likely to escalate as global temperatures continue to climb.
A simple example is, for a lot of people who are a bit more socially isolated, they don't have someone to really talk to, so they might go a full day without speaking. But in the morning, you can wake up and Romeo will say, "Good morning." And when you're back from work, Romeo will say, "Welcome home." And then you can always ask Romeo questions. And unlike a normal AI that might just answer a question, Romeo will actually converse with you. So something like, "Romeo, I got some bananas today. Wow, they look great. Let's eat them together."
But I don't think they went anywhere. The problem is scaling care, right? And if society isn't willing to pay for it, and if you can't find the people that are willing to do the work, you need an alternative. And it's a funny thing in human psychology that AI doll or robot might be able to do the trick and fill that hole. And if that can be done, that's a great thing. That's a win for everybody.
A boycott against Unilever and other multinationals operating in Israel has worsened the global company's loss of market share in Indonesia. That's while Unilever is battling smaller and often cheaper local rivals in Southeast Asia's largest economy. Unilever has been under fire in many Muslim-majority countries for what some shoppers see as support of Israel's military offensive in Gaza through business activity. In October, Unilever revealed its market share in Indonesia had declined to 34.9% in the third quarter from 38.5% a year before. Despite owning majority brands including Axe deodorant, Cornetto ice creams and Royco seasoning powder, Unilever has struggled to grow market share there for nearly a decade as shoppers switched to cheaper local brands. But Unilever in recent months acknowledged that the boycotts have made a dent in sales. About 87% of Indonesia's population is Muslim, and pro-Palestine groups and apps have emerged urging people to boycott certain brands. A Reuters review of the global No Thanks app, built by pro-Palestine developer Bash Square, shows shoppers are urged to boycott certain products. The app enables shoppers in many countries to scan product barcodes. It then recommends buying decisions based on parent companies' action or inaction when it comes to the war. The app's Instagram page claims to have 7 million users.
Apple says it never sold data collected by its Siri voice assistant or used it to create marketing profiles. The Wednesday statement comes days after the tech giant settled a class action lawsuit over Siri. Plaintiffs said Apple had routinely recorded their private conversations and disclosed them to third parties, including advertisers. They said the recordings happened after they inadvertently activated the voice assistant after saying something similar to its "Hey Siri" alert phrase.
Hey Siri, what's my update?
Apple paid $95 million to settle the case. Many social media users took that as an admission of guilt, but the company has consistently denied the allegations. In its new statement, the iPhone maker said it had never sold Siri data to anyone for any purpose. It said it never retained audio recordings, unless users explicitly opted to allow that.
I respect your privacy and only listen when you're talking to me.
Even then, Apple says the recordings were only used to help improve Siri. A similar lawsuit on behalf of users of Google's voice assistant is pending in California. The plaintiffs there are represented by the same lawyers as in the Apple case.
Archaeologists have uncovered more than 1,000 decorated stone blocks from the foundation of an 18th dynasty pharaonic Queen's Valley temple in Luxor. Queen Hatshepsut died in about 1458 BC and was one of the few women to have ruled Egypt. The Valley Temple was intentionally demolished centuries later. Archaeologist Zahi Hawass has been leading excavations at the site since 2022.
But this is the first time that we discovered 1,500 decorated blocks, the most beautiful scenes I've ever seen in my life with the color. And this is the first time that we do have a final program of the decoration of a temple.
Hawass says they also uncovered the nearby tomb of Queen Teti Sheri, grandmother of Ahmose I, who liberated Egypt from the invading Hyksos people and is the first pharaoh of Egypt's Golden New Kingdom era. The simple tomb was carved in rock and lay at the end of a chapel with red wall drawings. Hawass says the tomb's simplicity is because Egypt was a poor state after the expulsion of the Hyksos, meaning a grand tomb like those from Egypt's Golden Age wasn't possible. Queen Teti Sheri died in the 9th year of Ahmose's reign, a century before Hatshepsut came into power.